Hello everyone, this is Colin once again. I'm starting a new video series where I'll be posing questions regarding the New Testament. Now before we get off on the wrong foot, this is not an attack on Christianity, this is not an attack on Christians here on YouTube or elsewhere. This is basically my personal study of the New Testament and any questions that I have, or if I see something that might be a little off, I'd like to pose it as a question, and then try and see if we can, us as a internet community, if we can come to a basically a discussion of the topics I'm going to bring up. This is going to take a while because I'm going to go through the entire New Testament, and so basically we're going to try and see where some discrepancies possibly lie, and then see if they really are discrepancies, and we're going to try and see if we can have a conversation about it. I'm starting with Matthew chapter 1, and I'm starting with the genealogy, of course. And there's going to be a couple of videos on the genealogy alone because there are several things that need to be asked about the genealogy in Matthew's Gospel. But what I'm going to focus on in this video is the names that are listed, just the names that are listed in Matthew's Gospel. Now, Matthew's Gospel reads like this. I'm just going to name you the names of the male descendants: Solomon, Rehoboam, Abijah, Asa, Jehoshaphat, Jerome, Uzziah, Jotham. And we'll pause there for just a second, because then it goes on to Ahaz, etc., all the way down to Jeconiah. Now, if you go to 1 Chronicles, this is where Matthew gets this genealogy. If you go to 1 Chronicles, you will find, chapter 3, verse 10 of 1 Chronicles, you will find that it starts with Solomon as well, and it's basically verbatim the same list. Solomon, Rehoboam, Abijah, Asa, Jehoshaphat, Jerome, Uzziah, Jotham. But then there's a problem, because then there are three names that are in 1 Chronicles that are not in Matthew's Gospel, in his genealogy. Joash, let's see here, it is Joash, Amaziah, and Azariah. Those three individuals are not in Matthew's genealogy, but it says in 1 Chronicles that Azariah is the father of Jotham, who is in Matthew's genealogy and in 1 Chronicles. So Matthew apparently skipped 3 whole generations in his genealogy, according to the list. Then, when you go down to where it gets to Jose and his 3 sons, that 1 Chronicles lists them as 3 brothers, you have basically, let's see here, Johanan, Jehoiakim, and Shalom. Well, in Matthew's genealogy, he says that Jose is the father of Jeconiah, and we'll get to Jeconiah later, since he is a huge factor in the genealogy. He's the king right before the deportation to Babylon. But the problem is that Jose is not the father of Jeconiah, as Matthew says. He's actually the grandfather of Jeconiah. The father of Jeconiah, as 1 Chronicles puts it, is actually Jehoiakim. So we have Matthew saying that Jose is the father of Jeconiah, but he's actually saying that he's the father, but he's actually the grandfather of Jeconiah. So what he's done is he has left out 4 individuals in his genealogy alone. Now Matthew claims that the generations, and I'll quote him, Matthew chapter 1, verse, let's see here, verse 17 reads as follows. It says, "So all the generations from Abraham to David were 14 generations, and from David to the deportation to Babylon 14 generations, and from the deportation to Babylon to the Christ 14 generations." That's what Matthew says at the conclusion of his genealogy. However, Matthew's source, which would be 1 Chronicles, contradicts Matthew's reproducing of this genealogy. He has left out 4 individuals in the genealogy alone. So with that in mind, it's actually incorrect. there are not 14 generations, 14 generations, 14 generations, actually 18 generations somewhere in there. So it's not this perfect 14, 14, 14, it's 14, 18, 14. So my question then to you, my audience, is, why is this? Why is this that Matthew left it out of these four individuals out of his gospel? Why is it that he says to his audience that there are 14, 14, 14, when in actuality it's 14, 18, 14? Why is that? This is the question I'm posing in this video. Why is it these individuals were left out? Why is it that Matthew skipped over them? Why does he make no mention that he skipped over them? And why is it that there is this contradiction? So this is the question I'm posing. Please post your comments. Again, this is an open discussion. I'd like to hear back from anyone. Anyone's opinion on this would be great. And I look forward to the rest of the videos and to your comments and to hopefully the discussion that we can have about these interesting points that can be found within even the fewest of verses in the New Testament. Thank you, everyone. Peace be with you all.